Cool.
Hello, Doctor.
I want to get up there. There we go. That works. There's B. There's a mimic.
More specimens required.
What the fuck? Charging at me in slow-mo. Alright, let's see. We got a lot of research to do on these guys, but excerpt from Psychotronics database, common name Mimic, scientific name Typhon cacoplasmus. One of the first Typhon discovered during the Verona 1 incident in 1960. Mimics are capable of imitating nearby objects. During incident case blah blah blah, it was observed that mimics use other living organisms as a reproduction medium, killing their prey in the process. Shit. In accordance with the POBEG protocol, mimic specimens are not to be released in environments with a containment rating of less than S4. Weaknesses glue and Q-beam. Yup. It's a turret.
Hello, Dr. Q.
Research complete.
There's a mimic right beside it. Alright. Turret. Let's see. Auto turret V 0.7.6. Franklin, good. The accuracy grade for this newest turret iteration is a significant improvement over the last generation, with a marked 17% increase. The jamming issues when transitioning to portability mode also seem to have been resolved. Stability is still shit. The psychoscope element works well, but I recommend tuning the sensitivity down somewhat. I've received complaints from Psychotronics that some of the prototypes we sent down for testing are a little high-strung. Morgan's notes. Easy to upgrade and repair. Base model is weak against some of the larger Typhon. Be careful around them with neuromods. Does not like any Typhon material around. Any. Not even neuromod. Mimic matter 1. What is that? Camouflage yourself by taking the form of a nearby object. Uses 2 psi per second. Whoa.
New psionic aptitude available.
That's cool. My question is, why isn't the turret targeting that mimic? Alright, we're almost dead. Let's see what health food items I have. Eat that. That was a messy fight, but it's all good.
I can hear the Weaver through the walls. Son of a bitch is gloating, I know it. How are you holding up?
I dropped a couple of nightlights to lure the phantoms away. Put sticky notes on every goddamn thing I'm sure isn't a mimic. You?
Good. Safe inside the armory. Squashed a mimic that slipped in, but that's it. I got everything sealed tight.
What's our plan?
Wait for rescue?
You know, if we make it, Alex is just going to pull our mods.
You want to remember this shit?
I think we could get out through the guts. Work our way up to the Arboretum.
Okay. Say the word.
That's what we're doing. I just took the note. Oh, it must have been a sticky note. I was hoping something was written on it. Great. That means there's going to be notes everywhere. But that is an effective strategy for knowing what is and isn't a mimic. Before I go any further in exploring up here, I'm going to go down to where it's telling me to go, so I don't go off on too much of a tangent without... or where I neglect what the game wants me to do. Oh, hello. Rip. I'm getting better at dealing with those. Anti-rad. What is that? Psi. Oh. Sneaky, sneaky. Nope. What do I need? How am I on medkits? 4. I could use some more. Glue canisters, 375. What does it cost to make? 211. Well, they're all in my my room, so whoops. I should be okay though. We'll go ahead and do this. Panpsychism, Greek term pan, all, everything, whole, psyche, soul, mind, all basic physical constituents, of the universe have proto-mental properties that are irreducible. Energy, matter, psi equals consciousness. Cool. If you could. The noetic field. This is by Dr. Igwe. Noetic research, like all bold new ideas, has undergone a predictable pattern in the scientific... Oh, we've read this. Yep, alright. Utilities. LG conference room. Allow access. Archival footage. 1960 first contact. Oh, here it is. Whoa. No, it's just repeating. Groovy. Weaver. Whoa. God damn. Oh. Whoa. That's intense. Typhon Mimesis Part 2. Earlier models postulated that the mimic reformed its molecular structure, actually replicating the atomic makeup of target object. We now hypothesize that mimics are not changing shape at all. When they mimic an object, the mimic is no longer objectively present in this universe. The mimic swaps with an object in a parallel reality but maintains a conscious link, a kind of paradimensional entanglement to the object in our universe. So they shift into another plane of existence and take on this one while controlling it from the other one. I want to read those. So this keeps going on. So, you know what that means? We repair. Because lore is our top priority. There we go. I hear skittering and I'm not sure if it's from the fucking video or actually in here. Alright, I think it's from the video. Our esteemed colleague, Dr. Galagos, is posing a problem. Let's talk via Looking Glass ASAP. Dr. Kelstrup, patient Takagi insists she got her hand caught in a piece of machinery, but her wounds show evidence of bite marks. Human bite marks. Someone bit her finger off. Damn. When I asked security if they could find the fingers so I could at least reattach them, they said the machine had ground them up. What's going on? Full report still pending concerning the last experiment with blah blah blah. The Typhon Psychocratus initially evidenced interest in the subject, but then failed to colonize subject's mind. Developed a strong aversion, in fact. Experiment halted at 5 hours, minute 30, at MU's request. 37 sent to recovery. While 37 has a history of psychological instability, the event seems to have inflicted additional trauma. Both Morgan Yu and Alex Yu have agreed that 37 should be held until we can determine the origin of 37's peculiar resistance to Typhon Psychocratus. Dr. Kelstrup, per your request, Dr. Takagi was sent to trauma. Her fingers could not be recovered. Blah 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 is isolated and under continual watch. Security will perform regular checks on his physical condition. So that's the guy that got taken over. in the trauma center. Neuromod fabrication plan. Oh, hell yeah. I'm gonna make so many of those.
Morgan, a warning. If you scan enough Typhon organisms, you'll be able to install neuromods that are powerful, but they're the reason we're in this mess. For one thing, the station's defensive turrets will identify you as an alien threat. There might be worse consequences I can't yet see. I don't want you to lose yourself.
Okay. Okay. But hell yeah.
Calvino, what did you do to my conference room? Eh? What? Yes. I was just about to call you. All I see is a dot. Yes, that's right. It's the calibration system for the new touchscreen. You only have to run it one time. Are you kidding me? Just follow the dot. When it turns green, touch it. It should... Damn it, Calvino, I do not have time to play sing-along with your bouncing ball. I'll call you back.
Shit. What the fuck? I hear him. Alright, he came up behind me. I think this is a regular one. So. Oh, it's not. He's got a lot of health. Cool. That was easy enough. Just had to endure a little jump scare. You've acquired a chipset. Whoops. Perform a sneak attack. Oh. Performing a sneak attack restores some health. Can we equip 2? No. Alright, well. Oh, I see. It's just the looking glass fucking with me. Yeah, knock that off. Bullets? Hell yeah. Okay. That's a cool little side expedition. Now let's check here. Power control terminal. Oh, what? I could have turned that off without dealing with it. Oh, man. Nope.
Hello, Dr. Yu.
Alright. We're gonna go back up there, but first let's do this, shall we? Telepathy would be nice. Create a physical blast that deals up to 50 damage, pushes anything. I'm gonna start basic and do that. Trying to think what I want to go for next. Gunsmith. That would be nice. So would dismantle. So would hacking 2. Ooh. Oh. Whoops.
What's happening? Don't let them do this to you.
How does it feel? Do you remember? The first time you said it was like you were outside yourself, like time itself had bent its knee,
Dr. Yu.
waiting for you to decide. You moved my chair without touching it. Gave me chills. The possibilities. You became something new that day. Something higher. I knew then, as I believe now, that our mission is to lift up all humanity in the same way.
Okay. Psi targeting. Some powers are triggered instantly by using left trigger. Some powers are targeted. Stop time and enter psi targeting mode. Press and hold left trigger. Use R to aim. Release left trigger to execute a psi power on targeted location. Okay, so the obvious downsides to doing a build where we focus on that, which is by far the coolest shit and something I would like to do, but it may affect how the game progresses. Alright, come on. I was able to do this last time. Forgive me while I try to learn the platform again.
Hello.
But I don't know. What kind of build do I want to do? Do I want to stay away from it or go towards it? It may make me the enemy. So close. I could probably just... Cool. Alright, now let's finish exploring up here. There he is.
Scan complete. More specimens required. Scan complete.
Now we got it.
Psionic aptitude available.
There's 2 of them. There's another one. I'll just focus on one at a time. It'd be cool to get that mimic ability because I could turn into other things and make my way into smaller... Oh shit. Where'd you come from? Nope.
Hello, Dr. Yu.
I'm back here. Where'd he go? Whatever. Good shit. Oh yeah, all those spare parts. I think we're clear. Otherwise, take all these notes, recycle them. Oops. Chuck that. What's in there? Doesn't look like anything. So many notes. Do I really want to collect all these notes? No, but will I? Probably. Free material, man. Build a bunch of neuromods. I'm glad they were able to develop a system to detect these guys without a fucking psychoscope. Although you could also just listen for them, because they're pretty easy to hear if you know what to listen for. Yeah.
Scan complete. More specimens required.
Now what is this thing? A greater mimic. Ooh. A preliminary observation reveals that specimen 14 is moderately larger than any of the other mimic specimens collected from the Kletka incident. But a far more fascinating aspect is what appears to be its advanced mimicry ability. Specimen 14 has on numerous occasions demonstrated the capability of reproducing objects whose size and complexity far outstrip the abilities of any of the other specimens. What's more, many of these reproductions appear to be fully functioning. Interesting. Typhon mimesis Part 1. Using Mossbauer spectroscopy, I think that's how you say it, we track hyperfine splitting of an isotope embedded in the target object. In this case, a standard TranStar coffee mug. The creature seems to have a weird affinity for them. If the mimic actually altered its atomic structures to duplicate the target object, then we would expect the reading to be consistent in the duplicated object. When the alteration occurred, the reading was present, but the frequency had changed. The new object was on a different time scale than the original. Odd. Hallucinogenic field. The mimics project a field that causes observers to think they see the object. Transmutation. Mimic literally reconfigures its atoms and molecules while somehow maintaining its own subjective consciousness. Pocket dimension. Mimic swaps places with the objects in a parallel dimension but stays connected via a wormhole. It's very interesting. Take that. Take those. Nothing in the trash can. More paper.
fascinating. There's something almost angelic about those golden filaments, like frozen light. The Typhon weave it out of thin air. The question is why? We have a lot of theories, but no solid answers. Not yet. I wish you were with me, Morgan. Not the way you are now. The way you used to be. I know we could tackle this together. Like old times.
Yeah. Yeah. Null wave control. Introduce null wave transmitter to test chamber to suppress mimic's abilities. Warning. NWT voids test results. Yeah. There it is. Alright. Emails. Mimic theory. After the last 6 months here, I'm going with 4. Magic. Okay. Time to place your bets on how this actually works. My money is on number 2, obviously, so... And then those are the various things. Interesting. Dome Taker 3, pilgrimage to the autarky of the domed arrived with my last drop. Let me know if you'd like a download. The caves are all handcrafted. Autarky. I need to look up what that means. Does Lanzetta ring any bells? Dr. Gus Lanzetta. What if I told you he worked with us for a week? 1 week. The week before the entire science staff had last quarter's neuromods removed. He left his badge in a locker. I had IT look up his accounts, and it had all been deleted. All but his credentials. Who the hell was he? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. What does this do? Oh, that's cool. He duplicates. A family photo. That's really cool. So theoretically, think with me here. If I could drop a neuromod and get him to duplicate into it. No, because he'd probably just morph out of it and attack me before I would be able to pick it up. But that would be cool. Ah. A Typhon lure, aka Nightlight, emits a psycholuminescent signal that entices Typhon to move toward the lure for a short period of time, combined with other weapons or tactics to escape ambush or observe Typhon from a safe distance. It can be thrown or affixed to stationary objects using the right trigger. Keep that in mind. Rory, I've loaded another Nightlight as requested. Up the psycholuminescence. This time the Typhon ought to follow the lure like an imprinted duckling. So they're learning to work with them. Here's a bunch of math. Alright, does this damage me? One way to find out. It doesn't. Definitely does something. Cool. So that's the lure. Very nice. Scan for mimics. Nope. I mean, I kind of want to get in there. Alright, guess I can't. Where to next? Alright, this leads out here. Yep. Damn, that thing threw that. I'll pick that up in case I decide to get dismantled. Definitely like some more spare parts. Oh. Yeah.
Please submit a crash report.
Didn't I just repair it?
Error log submitted.
What the hell? Alright. Well. Wasted some spare parts, but that's fine. It's all good. There's always more spare parts to be found. Status report 37. Helen, blah blah blah, has shown signs of further instability in the last 24 hours. Subject demonstrated morbid curiosity in small objects around him, attempting to place them in his mouth and consume them, nutritive and non-nutritive. Initial diagnosis would seem to be rapid onset pica, but there was no evidence of this prior to exposure to the telepath. We're not ruling out suicide attempts, although the subject isn't making an effort to hide it. I'll be performing an endoscopic exam next shift to make sure nothing is lodged in the esophagus or intestines. Re-37 Suicide Watch update. Dr. Helen Barker Combs. 37 is still under suicide watch. As requested, the prisoner hasn't been given any sedatives to keep his system clean for upcoming surgery. No food either. Only water. He doesn't do much except rock back and forth, staring at the same point at the wall and mumbling to himself in Russian. Can't make out what he's saying. He's made no attempt to hurt himself that we've seen. This volunteer doesn't seem to be suicidal. He seems disoriented, like he's sleep drunk. Interesting. Helen, I think we've gotten just about all we're going to get out of 37 by talking. I want you to schedule surgery within the next few days. Let's get it out and into analysis as soon as possible. Is this prisoner the guy that mysteriously disappeared? I should probably make space for those. There we go. I can afford to get a little bit tipsy. Definitely want that asteroid fragment. Sure. Typhon Mimesis Part 3. May explain how mimics arrived here and how at least one survived in the vacuum inside the Kletka for so long. They can move to an adjacent dimensional bubble where time passes much more slowly, shifting back with the appropriate stimulus. Example, prey. From the mimic's perspective, a 6 million year journey to our solar system in the form of an iron meteor might only take a few seconds. These things are the ultimate trapdoor spiders. I can definitely see that comparison. Alright, I think I'm good in this room. Sorry, bud. I would like to get in here.
In light of what we now know the Typhon are capable of, and not capable of, it seems prudent to revisit the Project Cobalt material.
Igor, neuromods can already adapt Typhon material to the human mind. There's no reason in principle the reverse wouldn't work.
Say you managed to insert human neurons into a Typhon. How will you know it was successful?
The new neural structures would need to mature over a series of actual experiences.
Or simulated ones.
What?
Simulate the experiences. Calvino. He has...
Right, okay, look, it's fascinating, but let's focus on what we know is working. I don't want anyone devoting resources to this.
Interesting. Is that what they were trying to do to us? Are we just a mimic? Or some sort of typhon? Oh boy. Back into zero gravity. The game wants us to go there.
It's up to you.
Oh no. It's a turret. I saw you. Where'd it go? Huh. Woo! Mimic Matter 3. Well, if and when I get that ability, we'll be able to max it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh.
Typhon material inconclusive. Logging calibration.